Greetings to you all. My name is Evelyn, but the name on my YouTube channel is Diary of a Teen Mom. The reason why I chose Diary of a Teen Mom is because my life, my story is that name just came to me like 2 days ago when I was writing my story. I was posting the picture of me and my son, and I was writing my story, and it just came to my mind like that, Diary of a Teen Mom. After I was done writing the story, and then it just flashed in my head, and I said, "This is gonna be," because I have been changing my name very often on my YouTube channel, because I had not really gotten that name that I really like, that I feel like that I am connected to it, that like this is really me. You know what you understand what I'm trying to say. So after I wrote my story of me and my son, after I was done, I wanted to post it, and then that title, that name just came to my mind, Diary of a Teen Mom. And I said, this is a reflection of me. This is my story. Like, my life is actually a diary of a teen mom, because my life, if I remember very well, my life started when I had my son at 14. I was still a teenager, and from there, that's when my life really started. That's when I can really say, oh, I remember doing this. I remember when I got pregnant. Like, everything in my life started from there. So that's why I chose that name, Diary of a Teen Mom. And today I'm going to be telling you my story. So I don't want to make this video to be too long. So this is just an introduction. My real names are Evelyn Mantu Alitum. I'm a mom, I'm a stay-at-home mom, I'm a wife, I'm a hairstylist, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a content creator on that's it. So I really want to use this platform to share my story for the world to know me, to know who I am. Like, I don't edit videos. The videos that you see on my platform are not edited. I post my real life story as a lady who was a teen mom, how I navigated life as a teen mom, how I got married, how I am raising my children, all of that. Yeah, those are the stories I share on my platform. So if you're interested, please do well to subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our interesting stories. I've shared my stories several times, but they were longer videos, and I realized people do not watch longer videos. So now I'm going to be doing it on part one, part two, shorter versions of videos, so you're going to see and know who I really am. Thank you for being here. Bye. So I'm going to start with my background, because if I dive directly to start telling you my story of how I had my son at 14, maybe you're not really going to understand, or you're not really going to know me well, because I want to be open to my audience. I want that those people, everybody that is watching me, should really know who I am. They should be connected to me in a certain level, and I want to be honest with my audience. And I believe that my story can be inspiring, can be motivative to someone out there. So, yeah. My story is a very emotional story, and sometimes I don't really know where to start. So, I'm from a family of five. Um, we were not the richest family while growing up. I have four siblings, so five children. Yeah, my mom had five of us. We were six of us, and we lost our elder sister, our firstborn. So now we are five of us. And my mom practically raised us by herself single handedly. So life was not the easiest. I know many people say, "Oh, you're not the first to call who is coming from a struggling family and all of that." Yeah, but everybody's story is different. Our experiences are different. They might be similar, but it's different. It's not the same. So yeah, my mom, she used to sell. She used to sell. We call it puff puff. Maybe and the Americans call it donuts. They call it donut, but back home we call it puff puff. She used to sell that with beans, puff puff and beans, to take care of us. And after school runs, we were helping her to prepare it. Sometimes we'll go sell after school. Like we had to work hand in hand in order to survive. Yeah, we are three girls, and we are three girls and two boys for my mom. And raising female children um is a little bit different than male children. Like life was really difficult for us in a way that sometimes when we started seeing our period, we had to use towels. My mom had to maybe get old towel, or if she had the money, she would go and buy new towels in the market, and then she would pieces it like in a square form and give you in a package like this is what you're going to be using as you're seeing your period. So each time after seeing our period, we'll have to wash, sterilize, dry it, iron it, and keep it for the next flow. That's what we're using while growing up. Until part two is coming. As I was saying earlier, I make this video in parts because I don't want it to be too long. The limit is 3 minutes. So when it gets to 3 minutes, I'm gonna cut it. So if you really want to enjoy the full story, you have to watch the videos part by part to really understand. So as I was saying, we're using towels as our sanitary pads. When we are done with the menstrual cycle, we're gonna wash, iron, sterilize, and keep for the next flow. And that's how, and yeah, that's how we the girls we did it back then in the early 2000s. I saw my period 2008. I had my period 2008. I was 12 at that time. So yeah. And as girl children, they say you have to change your inner wears every 3 months. You have to change your inner wears every 3 months. We didn't know that. We didn't like is if it sounds strange to my ear when I hear that, because we literally had like two pants each, two innerwear, two drawers each. When you take a shower, you wash and dry, you wear the other one. You come the next day and you have to keep it very well, because if you get missing, you're on your own. Oh, you're going to walk naked. So when you take a shower, you wash, you dry, you wear the other one. The next day you wash, you wear the other one, and that's how we're doing. I remember at some point I had two, so one got missing. I don't know how managed it got missing. Maybe it got mixed in the laundry, and I don't know what happened, but it got missing. So each time I showered, I had to literally use my towel to squeeze my innerwear to repeat it. Excuse me. To go to school. Sometimes you go to school and you get up, your whole skirt is wet because you had to put on a wet innerwear, and it was not even healthy because I could easily get a yeast infection or something because it was a wet pants that I was wearing all day long. Come back, wash, squeeze it, and wear it again. So that was how life was literally difficult for us, because my mom was literally struggling to pay our fees, buy our school school needs, and feed the house. So like for us to have extra money to buy those things that the girl child need, it was extremely difficult. So but we managed to survive. We managed to survive. Yeah. Our dad was there. We live in the same house with our dad. Our dad was a mechanic. He's a mechanic. Um, but he and my mom never had the best of couple relationship. Their marriage was not a marriage that I can say I look up to my parents' marriage, or I wish to have a marriage like that. No. If I was a child that doesn't know how to heal, doesn't know how to take off her emotions psychologically, like I would have been traumatized in a way that I will never want to get married, because the relationship I saw between my mom and my dad. Mm-mm. And there are many couples still going through that type of relationships nowadays that I still see. Like when you go through something as a child, when you go through a type of trauma as a child, that trauma either breaks you or it makes you stronger. You have to choose. If you're a strong person in nature, you know how to control your emotions, like you know how to go through something that nobody can even say you're going through depression. We're literally going through trauma and depression without even knowing that we're depressed. So my I'm literally saying this story without filtering. I'm not skipping it. I'm just telling you the way it was. Many people will say, why are you exposing your family story online? Because many people, many families are still going through that in our society, and they stay there. They don't want to leave because they want to preserve the name called marriage. Like if you are not married, that means you're a prostitute. If you're not in a man's house, you're not what to be called a woman. Like there are some Africans that I don't know why they do that, but they value marriage more than one's life. Like if you are married, they give you that certain type of respect, and if you're not married, they say, "Oh, no matter the kind of money you have and you're not married, they don't even look at you as anything. You have to be married to be valued, to be respected. They don't care what you're going through in that marriage. If you're happy, your happiness doesn't matter." So I share this story. I take an example. I share my real life story because that's what I grew up seeing. My dad, he was not the father future that I say I wish I had. What am I saying? English is not anybody made. My dad is not, how can I say it? What's the word I'm looking for? My dad is not someone that I can say he's my hero. I wish to be like him. No, he's not that example. I like, I'm not saying this. So I don't want to go into too much details, but to cut the whole story short, our dad was never there for us. My mom raised us single-handedly, and imagine as a single mom who doesn't have a job with a salary that you can say you can depend on. Like we were literally surviving on if my mom sell, she goes to the market and she sells, she has some profit, that's what we're going to live on. And if she doesn't have any profit, that day we're going to sleep hungry. That was how we're literally living, like hand to mouth, day by day. When I sit now and I look back those days, I just wondered if I was in my mom's shoes, what would I have done? What would I have done to, because it was really difficult. We slept, there are nights that we were sleeping, we didn't have blankets. Like Bamenda is one of the coldest town that we have in Cameroon. It is really cool. And then our house was like in this kind of swampy area. We had a lot of waters around our house. It was really cold. So I developed allergies. I have constant running nose. I have asthma, all those things because of cold and the kind of environment that we grew up in. So all those tough moments, all those difficult stuff that we went through, that I went through, it made me to develop a tough skin to like build a really tall defensive mechanism for myself, that I told myself that I was never going to be I was never I was never going to tolerate any abusive relationship or any man that doesn't value me. I'm never going to tolerate him. I pray to God to, if I'm going to get married one day, let him bless me with a man that, like, I just say, God, you know my heart, you know the kind of man that I want. Please just, because if I had a man like my father, let me not go there. Let me not say I will laugh because you don't know, you don't know what you will have done. So let me not say what I would have done if I had a man like him. Yeah, but by God grace, we grew up, we are all adults today, we are healthy, we are alive. What can I say? I thank God. Yeah, so when I posted the story of how I had my son on on my channel, I did that on writing, and I said I was going to do a story time. And somebody left a comment and asked if I was raped at 14 to get pregnant. I wasn't raped. I was not raped. I cannot call it rape. It's kind of rape, but in the society where I grew up, if you call it rape, they're not gonna say it's rape because I went there, I took my 2 legs and I went there. I went to his house. I was not. I was just at 14. What do I know about relationship? What was I looking for? First of all, I just went there to see. This guy asked me to come to his house. Let me go. I went there without thinking what was going to happen or what is going to happen if I go there. I just went there because why did I go there? No reason. I went there, and he forced himself on me. It's not funny. It's not a funny story. I don't know why I'm laughing, but he forced himself on me, and I got pregnant. And I never knew I was pregnant. I didn't see my period for the next months, and when I didn't see my period, I told my mom, and she said maybe I have always had irregular periods. I started seeing my period when I was 12. I got pregnant at 14. My period was never regular. It came after 3 months, after 6 months. It was never regular. So my mom thought maybe it's one of the irregular periods. She never knew maybe I could have been pregnant. And during all that time, I was really sick. I was seriously sick until I remember my mom taking me to the hospital one time, and I was put under the oxygen. I was put under the oxygen for a day, and I was admitted for about 3 days before we went back home. Like, I had this severe asthma. Like that during that time that I got pregnant, the asthma got worse in the way that I could not breathe. The way I was breathing, nobody could sleep in the house, so we usually had to go to the hospital. And they put me oxygen, they gave me some medication, they gave me the asthma spray and all of that. I started using it. And the doctor asked me, have you ever had sex with a man? I said no. My mom was there. I cannot say yes in front of my mom that I have. Like, how will I even start telling her? You know, our mom those days now, African mothers had their wow. Come for part 2. The doctor asked if I've ever had sex with a man, and I said no. My mom was there. It was not a private question. I was scared of my mom. I could not say yes. At 14, my mom could not even believe that a man had touched me, and being scared to broke her heart. I said no. And the doctor did not do any pregnancy test for me, because they say, if you have never had sex with a man, why would we be doing pregnancy tests for you? So they gave me medications. I took a lot of different kind of medications that a pregnant woman should not have taken, both traditional medication and the American or the white man medication, the tablets. I took all types of medication because I was sick, but morning sickness and all of that, you're weak. Like, I had so many different things going on with me that I did not know what was going on. Like, I'm still growing. I'm still trying to know who I am. I'm still trying to know my body. I just started seeing my period. All of those things mixed. Like, I could not even know what was going on with me. So I was just there going to school. That was my 3rd year in secondary school. I did a pregnancy test when I didn't see my period. No, I didn't do the pregnancy test because I said no, I cannot be pregnant. It's just once that this guy forced himself on me. I cannot be pregnant. And the guy, when I told him that I've not seen my period, he got scared. And I asked him that, what if I'm pregnant? What am I going to do? He said, no, I have a friend who is a doctor. We're going to see him. He's going to use some pipe. He's going to flush it out and all of that. I was really scared. And he asked me to go and do a pregnancy test. I told him that I did it and it was negative. So when I told him that, but I think maybe he knew that I was pregnant, because it was like 3 months later, I had a lot of changes in my body. He was really much older than me. Maybe like 10 or 15 years older than me. So After some time, I started looking for him, but I couldn't find him. He had left the town, and after he left, that's when I found out that he had been having an affair with other girls in the city where I was living, and they were pregnant. The other lady went to do an abortion for him, and she almost lost her life and all of that. It's God that saved me, because imagine that I knew I was pregnant and then he took me for an abortion. I don't know what would have happened to me. Maybe it was God protecting my life at that time, that I shouldn't even know that I'm pregnant. Come for the next part of it. After some time, I started looking for him because we were living like in the same quarter, and I could not see him. I didn't know where he went. He had this friend that he was always with, so I asked his friend, "Where did your friend go to?" He said he doesn't know, he just left. I continued living my life. I never knew I was pregnant. And then my pregnancy got to 6 months. I put on a lot of weight. Nobody in our household, all my siblings, my mom, my dad, nobody noticed I was pregnant. I never knew I was pregnant. I was just living my life. And one day, I went to my mom's business place. My mom sells puff puff. I went there to help her sell as usual. And my mom, she has this friend that also has her own business place beside us. She does call box. And she told my mom, take this child to the hospital. Like, even if she says she has never slept with a man, just do a pregnancy test. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost you anything to do a pregnancy test. Do it. So my mom called me in. There is this clinic in the quarter, in the city. She calls me, meet me at this place at this time, at this time. Innocently, I could not even have an idea that they wanted to do a pregnancy test for me. So I took my shower, dressed up, and I met her there. They gave me a cup. Take this cup, go and urinate inside. I did. I brought back the urine. They did the test, and so yeah, it's positive. 2 red lines, very thick red, because 6 months pregnancy. It's not as if it's 1 or 2 weeks that the lines are not going to be clear. 6 months, so the lines were boldly there. 2 thick red lines. I could see the disappointment in my mom's face, and the lady asked me, when last did you see your period? I told her. She said, yeah, you are 6 months. You're 6 months pregnant. My mom asked me, who is it? There and then I told her immediately the person. And before we went to look for him, he had already left town. The number, I didn't have his number anymore, because I remember I was using this button phone, and then the phone got missing. Something happened, so I didn't have his number anymore. So I met at his friend, and I asked him, where is your friend? I really want to see him. I really want to talk to him. He said he doesn't know. And sincerely, I still speak with his friend till date. He didn't know where his friend, because he knew the havoc he had caused in that city. He had to run away. He didn't tell anybody where he was going. He didn't tell anybody where he was going. And come for the next part. Let me take a deep breath. So my struggles, my life struggles really started when my mom discovered I was pregnant, and I was really 6 months gone. So we're going to have a baby in less than 3 months. Everything in our house had to change dramatically. Like, there's a baby on the way. We are struggling. We have to buy baby stuff. It was a lot. I was traumatized. I was depressed. I cried day and night, because I had let my mom down. I had let my family down. My mom was not expecting that from me. There was this disappointment, especially my dad kept on saying that she was the one who brought the man to sleep with me. She was the one who brought the man to impregnate me, and none of that. The more my father traumatized her, the more she traumatized me. I had to stop school. I couldn't go to school anymore. I had to drop out. That was my 3rd year in secondary school. I had to drop out of school to have my baby, to take care of my baby. And when that happened, it was like kind of sort of financial relief from the educational side from my mom because she was taking care of us by herself, sending us to school by herself. So when I dropped out, she had a good excuse to focus on the other four to send them to school. Since you don't want to go to school, you want to get pregnant, so you're going to stay home for your siblings to go to school. So I started staying home. I was the one like doing majority of the house chores at home, cooking, help my mom with the business food. Like I was at home doing just helping my mom with her business and all of that, while my other siblings went to school. And after I had my baby, at least it was a little bit better. After I had the baby, the trauma was a little bit better. You know, you are depressed without even knowing that you're depressed. You are going through I don't know how to call this. African people, when you see them commit suicide because of depression, because of trauma, you cannot blame them. Like sometimes they say, what are you really going through that you're going to take your life? You cannot know what somebody is going through deep inside until you're in their shoes. When I sit and I think of that moment when I was going through, I'm like, God saved me. God saved me. So after I had a baby, it became a little bit better. The baby was there. At least my life was no more in danger because my mom was really scared. How are you going to push out a child out of you at 14? She was really scared for me, and I took a lot of traditional medication to ease a birth process. I took a lot of that, and by God's grace, I had a child. I was healthy. The baby was healthy, but he had a little tumor under his tongue, and we had to be going to the hospital every 6 months for the doctor to. He had to put a syringe to pull out the water from the tumor because they could not operate it since he was still a baby. They could not do a surgery, so they had to wait for him to. He was a year and 6 months, and that's when they performed the surgery. My mom took him for the surgery. I wasn't there. My mom, because I think I was really about 16, 15, 16 years at that time. But I was still a child. I could not go. So my mom took him. They did the surgery. He was fine. Everything was okay. And I was still home, not going to school, taking care of him. Because if I want to go to school, who is going to pay my fee? Who is going to look out after the baby? So there was literally no way for me to go back to school. So that's when I dropped out. I stopped going to school, and we kept on managing our life as we usually do until God sent a destiny helper one fateful morning. Do you guess in the comment section who the destiny helper is? Just leave your guess in the comment section. After 4 years, God sent a destiny helper. My son was 4. I was still at home, not going to school. But I had learned hairstyling. So when my son was 8 months old, they said since you're not going to school, you have to go and learn a trade, do something. The day my mom told me you have to go and learn a trade, I cried out my eyes. I said, I want to go to school. I see my friends going to school, passing their exams, going to the next class. I was traumatized. I was depressed. Finally, I had to accept I didn't have any choice. So I went to the salon. I learned how to braid. I learned how to do hairstyles. And by God's grace, that's what I do today. It helps me a lot financially when I have a client or two. It helps me solve one or two problems for myself and for my family. So, and that's it. Come for the next part to know who my destiny helper is. My destiny helper is my husband. God said He's going to send a destiny helper to help you, to liberate you from your sufferings, from your struggle. My destiny helper is my husband. One fateful morning, I went to church, and after church service, I was walking on the street and I met um this gentleman standing on the road. He was waiting for his friends because they had an appointment to meet. Like he has been abroad for so many years. So he came back home. He wanted to meet with his friends before traveling back. So while standing on the road and waiting for his friends, he saw me passing and he called me. He asked me, he was looking for somewhere to eat. He's a stranger in town. He doesn't know if I can help him, show him where he could buy food. And that's where our story started. I'm not gonna I'm gonna make a story time of how I met my husband in another day, not today, but yeah. So that same day he told me that he wanted to get married to me. We started talking and he helped me go back to school. I went back to school. I had my GC ordinary level. I went to lower seat and I went to upper seat. I wrote my advanced level, but I didn't have it. I never had it because I had been out of school for so many years. My ordinary level, I wrote it 2 times before I had it, and then the next year was when I was supposed to go to lower seat, and that's when the strike started. And so they just pushed us to the next class. So I had to skip lower seat and I went to upper seat with less or low knowledge of high school. I couldn't make it for my advanced level exams, and yeah. So he came to my life. He helped me help my son. I remember when my son was 7 years old and I got in contact with his dad and I told him, "You have a son. I sent him a picture. This is your son." And he didn't show much interest. I don't really know what happened, but I remember telling him that this is your son. You have to come and take responsibility, and he never showed up to date. So that's it. I cannot wait to really tell my son this story one day. Hi. A lot of ladies, they know that they are pregnant at the early stage of their pregnancy. Like just few people will not know that they are pregnant until the late pregnancy. My children are up and they are making noise now over the videos. I'm not gonna. This is the last video. This is the last video for my story time of how I had my son at 14. So life happens. God knew why he had to let me or my family stay for that long before realizing that I was pregnant. But I can tell you, the shame, the trauma that I went through, that I put my family through, I don't know how I survived it. I don't know how I navigated it at that time, but all I can say is God saw us through. God saw me through. My son is 15 years old today. When I tell people I am a 29 years old mom with a 15-year-old son, and they're like, "Ooh, how manage? It's not possible." And they always ask me the question, "What were you doing to go and have a child?" Like there's always this judgmental reaction at first sight when I tell people that I have a son and he's 15 years old. Like they don't really think for a minute to process that what happened they don't ask you what happened, like to know what happened if you had a child at 15, at 14. They just start judging you. What were you doing? Where were you going? And all of that. So I don't feel ashamed to say I had a child at 14. I'm a proud mom. I'm so proud of my son. When I see him, he taught me how to love. He taught me how to nurture. I can say my son is the person that really taught me. I was a mom before I became a teenager, before I became a girl. So before I even knew who I was really a mom. So I don't even have that picture in my mind to see myself how I was as a young girl. I don't have, because I had a mommy pouch at 15. I couldn't wear the beautiful or the lovely clothes that I wanted to wear because I had a mommy pouch and all of that. So I have had my mommy pouch insecurities for so many years that when I started creating content, I mostly post just half of my body. I didn't post all of my body. It's just of rest, and I started posting. Quiet, please. It's just of recent that I started posting all my full body video, because I now have built a self-confidence. I have learned to love myself the way it is. I know who I am and I know what I want. So that's it. So to conclude my story, if you ask me what advice can you give to people, to the world in general, as a teen mom, the advice I can give, I would say parents should pay more attention to their children, not only the female, not only the girls, but to the males as well, because a lot of children go through sexual assault. A lot of children go through rape. They go through the assault. The more the day go by, the more it becomes worse and worse. Parents, when you have children, there's a big sacrifice you have to do. You have to make for that child to be right, for that child to grow up and really be who they want to be, without something tampering with their emotions, tampering with their life. Like, you have to be there. It's not only just by giving the advice, but you have to watch, you have to watch the behaviors, the actions, to know, because not all children know how to talk. Like, let me give you an example. When a child is playful, there's some certain things that a child does when you're at home with them. You know, this is my child, and all of a sudden they change. They don't do that anymore. You have to notice. You have to realize that no, something has changed with this child. What is wrong? Let me find out what is wrong with this child. Because a lot of us now, we focus in our careers, we focus in our jobs to build a better future, and we forget to pay more attention to our children. So the only advice I can give is that parents should pay more attention. Pay attention to your children. Like, know what they are doing from the morning to evening. Know their programs, where they are, what they are doing. It's a sacrifice that you have to do in order not to regret tomorrow, in order for that child not to blame you that mom, you were not there, dad, you were not there. Pay attention to your children. Be there for your children. And you have to learn how to be friendly, because our parents, they didn't know how to be friendly with us. They mostly scream at us, they mostly shout at us. They never sat us for one day and said, let me talk to this child, let me have a conversation with this child. No. The way they gave us advice was, they were screaming, they were shouting, and that's not how it is done. As I became a parent, I learned that you don't have to talk to your child by screaming. You have to communicate with your children, to discipline them, to advise them. Yeah. Be friendly with your children in a way that they will not be scared to tell you some certain things. Like, they will gist you. They will tell you stuff, the things that happen. Like, when they come back in the evening, they'll be free to tell you how their day went, what happened during that day, without any fear that you are going to beat them, you're going to scold at them. Be open with your children. Learn how to communicate with your children. Don't make them to be scared of you. Respect is different. To make your child to respect you is different. Like, we're scared of our parents, not that we're not respecting them. We're so scared of them. They taught us how to be scared of them, not how to respect them. That's what they taught us. As I grew up, as I became mature, and I also learned, I'm still learning, because motherhood is something that you cannot afford to fail in. Motherhood is something you cannot afford to do it wrong. You have to do it right. Like, you can fail in so many aspects in your life. You can fail, like, if you one day dream to be a pilot, you don't become that pilot, it's okay. But one thing that you shouldn't fail in is motherhood. The moment you get pregnant, your life has to change from like it has to flip immediately. Everything is different. You have to compromise, you have to sacrifice. A lot of things you have to do. You cannot afford to fail in motherhood. So try as much as possible to be there for your children. I'm not saying that my mom was not there for us. She was there for us because, as I said earlier in my previous videos, she raised us single-handedly by herself. So she could not even notice what was going on with us at some point, because 5 children by yourself, who are you going to focus on? Who are you going to leave? That's why you need both parent attention on the children. You need both, like, the mom can be there as much as she can, but sometimes you, the dad, when you step in, there's some certain things that you will see that she was not able to see. So not only the moms, but the fathers as well. My father was never there. I'm not scared to say it. I have forgiven him for all he did for us when we were growing up. I have forgiven him already, but it doesn't stop me from saying the truth. He was never there in our life when we were growing. So my mom did what she could, but she tried her best, and I can say she did a great job. She did a great job taking care of us, because if I know other women who abandon their children and they just go for a better future, but she didn't leave us. She stayed there with us. She took care of us. She didn't abandon us. So I can say she did a great job. So I want to use this opportunity to, let me do in the next video. So I want to use this opportunity. I know I have done it before, physically, one-on-one with my mom, but I want to use this opportunity to really tell her that I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. I was ignorant to go and get pregnant at the age of 14. Like, that's not what any parent would pray for their children. I have done it before physically to her to apologize, but I want to do it again on video to say, Mommy, I'm really sorry. I was just a child, and I learned a very bitter lesson from my mistake, and I had to pay for my mistake because I sacrificed my education. I didn't go to school as much as I wanted to go because of my mistake. So, and I want to thank my mom for being there for me, for taking care of me throughout my pregnancy, taking care of my son. I know some families would throw their children out of the house because they get pregnant. So I want to use this opportunity to thank my mom for not throwing me out of the house, for taking care of me and my son to date. I appreciate all your efforts that you did to take care of us as a single mom. And I want to let you know that we, your children, we love you so much. And my prayer for you is that you stay on this earth long enough to enjoy the fruit of your labor, because you deserve all the good things that life has to offer. And by God's grace, I pray God keep on blessing me in a way that I will keep on providing for you, taking care of you in a way that I can. Yeah. If you ask me to advise my younger self now, what advice would I give to myself? I would say focus on your education. Go to school. Don't hurry up to do things, because everything has a time. All the things that you're in a rush, you're in a hurry to do now, you get at the age where you're supposed to do them. You have all the time in the world to do them. So if you ask me to advise my 14-year-old version of myself, I would say focus and go to school. Go to school as much as you can, especially if you have somebody that is there to sponsor you. Focus, go to school with no distraction. Pass your exams in flying colors. And when the time comes, all those things that you are rushing to do that is in your mind right now, you're going to do them. and at some point you're even going to feel discouraged. It's going to, like, you not even want to do them anymore. So if you're a teenager from 10 years old to 21 years old, focus and go to school. Get all the certifications that you can get, because when you pass that stage, the probability of you going to school again is very low, is very minimal. This video is for my son, Salvador, my love. I want to let you know that I love you so much. You are that person that taught me how to love. Like, I never knew what love was until I gave birth to you. I had to learn how to love you. I had to learn how to nurture you. Life happened in a way that it happened, and yeah, I had you at a very young age, at 14, and at that time I was not able to provide you with everything that I wish I would have given to you. But what I can say is that I gave you all the love that a child ever needed, and I still love you so much. And I cannot wait to reunite with you. We've been separated for 4 years, over 4 years now. And I cannot wait to reunite with you, to hug you tight. So right now, God has blessed us, and I cannot wait to provide you with that life that you deserve, that education that I never had. You're going to do it for me, and I want to let you know that I am not ashamed of you. I don't hide you. I am so proud of you, and I love you, and I miss you so much. I miss you so much, and if life permits, by God's grace, we are going to be together very soon. I cannot wait to see you again. I love you so much. So I separated with my son when he was 11 years old. I got married. I traveled to America to stay with my husband, and I see him just over the phone. I have not seen my son physically for over 4 years now. So yeah, life happens, and very soon we're going to be together very soon, because I got my citizenship. I applied for his visa already, for his permanent resident, and we are just waiting for the response now. So by God's grace, we are going to be together again. I cannot wait for that day.